So, welcome along to a very special Pixiecast. It's been a little while since I've recorded one of these, so bear with me if I completely screw it up. But in the next half an hour or so, I'm going to be talking to some of my friends over in the good old US of A because it's a big weekend, a big sporting weekend, a massive sporting weekend in America. It is, of course, tomorrow, Super Bowl 55. And I've got three massive personalities and massive football fans with me this afternoon to try and tell me a little bit about American football, because I know absolutely nothing about it, and for them to tell me what's so special about the game, why they love it so much, and who they're going to be supporting tomorrow, and what they're going to be doing during the day. So you all know all these lovely people. So first of all, Hector. Hi, Hector. How are you?
Hey, Andrew. Good to see you again.
Good to see
Hello,
you as well,
everybody.
my friends. And thank you for getting up so early in the morning. I know it's pretty early for you, isn't it?
Yeah, no problem.
Are you pre-coffee or post-coffee?
I'm in coffee
Or you're
right
mid-coffee?
now.
You're mid-coffee,
right? Yeah.
How are you doing over there? You okay?
Doing very well. Sun is out. That's all you can ask for, and just ready for another day. Glad to be here.
Cool. So tell me about American football and what it means to you. When did it all start for you as a kid, presumably?
It started pretty early, probably when I started playing organized sports early on, maybe like 10 years old. We started off with flag football, which is a form of the sport, but it's it's a little less contact than actually tackling the way the professionals do, or once you do in high school. But so just we wore flags or strips of cloth or whatever, or plastic, and you'd rip it off and that'd be the tackle, or you would stop the play. But I started with that early on. And that was pretty much it as far as me playing football. I played other sports that I liked more, but I've always watched it on TV as well once it was on. My family is a big sports family, so anything that was on TV or any sport that was on TV or that we played, we stayed focused on and paid attention to.
Which team did you grow up supporting then?
Growing up, it was the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, who are back now, and then the Raiders came in. They were originally from Oakland. Their owner brought them to the city, and then both teams ended up leaving in the '90s. Both teams ended up leaving the city because of the owners, of course. And then I actually started paying attention more to college football. So I became a big college football fan in the universities. And I followed a local team for many years. The local teams were very good college-wise, so I followed them. And then when one of the teams came back, maybe now 3-4 years ago now, when the Rams came back with a new ownership, I came back to rooting for them. So the current team right now.
Sure. Okay. And so popping across to, there he is in his truck as always, Mike Flynn Jr. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I am on the road. I'm not on the road. I'm in a Panera drive-through. So when I'm grabbing my food here,
you're picking up some breakfast, are you?
No, I eat breakfast at breakfast time, but this is Mama's. Mama wants some Panera, so Mama gets some Panera.
What's Panera?
Oh, it's good stuff.
Panera bread. It's I don't know, it's like a healthier fast food. They make sandwiches and soups, and they specialize in baked goods, but they got really good food.
I agree. We have one out here too. We go to a lot.
Okay. Yep. So what time is it with you, Mike, at the minute?
Do what now?
What time is it with you at the moment?
It is 11:14 a.m.
It's the middle of the day.
Yeah, lunchtime.
Okay, cool. So tell me all about American football then and the part it's played in your life growing up as a kid.
Well, I grew up in Texas.
Yeah.
So, football is pretty much synonymous with life here. I mean, if you don't play football here, you're kind of just an accessory to football, in high school and as you're coming up. But we didn't have Little League when I was young. We had Little League baseball, and everybody kind of plays organized sports in town. That's all there is to do. But, as soon as you get into 7th grade, that's when all the guys show up for your first two a day in the summertime, and everybody tries out. Cowboys, punks, golfs. It seems like everybody at that time, they get to try.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. You better go to.
Okay, we'll go to Jeff and we'll come back. So Jeff, tell me about your childhood and American football.
It's for Sheila Flynn. It was an online order.
Kind of like everyone else, I came from a big sports family, and I've had one team all my life, New England Patriots, and up until 2001, they were just bad. But yeah, I have a lot of memories. I used to go to a lot of games, or actually a few games growing up, and they always lost, and it was like kind of like a 0-0 your football score. They were like boring games, and but yeah, I always loved it. I played, I played like what the part like that big guys play, and I played flag football like Hector, except we did flag football in junior high. We had co-ed, girls and boys playing together. And I feel like that's when my football playing career really peaked. I got to be quarterback, and I got to do some fun stuff. So, yeah.
So quarterback, that's the sexy position to play, isn't it? That's where you get all the glory.
It's the very sexy position, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's the sexiest position.
Well, I was going to come on to that because there's some guy I've been reading about called Brady who's involved tomorrow, and he seems to be getting all the headlines at the moment. So, Hector, back to you. So, presumably, you don't actually support either of the two teams tomorrow, but who will you be supporting?
It's tough. I think I'm just sometimes I say I'm just going for the party, just going for the food, but. I'm going to probably go for the AFC team, the Chiefs.
Okay, last year's winners, yeah?
Yes, they're defending champs. I think overall they have the better team, and it's going to be the quarterbacks are evenly matched in a way, considering Brady isn't with his former team, but I think they just have a little bit more ammunition or more weapons to use, and will come out on top.
So do you think
Kansas City Chiefs? Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think it'll be close?
I hope so. I don't like to see blowouts because it gets very boring to watch, and then you are looking forward to the halftime show. But I hope it's a close game, entertaining.
Okay. And Mike, what about you? What are your thoughts for tomorrow?
Well, I'm going to be working on the house all day.
we know that.
So it's not going to be a lot of fun, and Greg's going to be over there with me. So we're going to be dying to know what's going on and what the score is. But yeah, I don't know. I hate Tom Brady.
Okay, you're one of those that hates him. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Is he still picking up his bread?
Yeah.
We'll come back to you, Mike. Jeff, what are your thoughts about tomorrow? Oh, he's a Brady fan. Oh, blimey. Oh dear. Okay.
So, although it is difficult seeing him on another team, so I'm rooting for Tampa, but my heart isn't quite as into it.
Right.
It helps. It kind of what hurts is I hardly ever like players on other teams, but I really like the other quarterback, Mahomes. He's just young and dynamic, and I have a lot of respect for him. He can do anything. So
he's amazing.
He is amazing, and everything. If you look at stats and stuff, there's no reason that Kansas City should lose this game. But I also know you never bet against Tom Brady, so I'm thinking I'm thinking Tampa wins somehow by a few points.
And that'll be down to Brady, yeah.
Always is.
Kansas City's struggling on the offensive line too, so they're missing some pieces.
Oh yeah,
and,
they lost their left tackle. which
Ooh,
in
right.
American football, Andrew, that left tackle is the man responsible for protecting that quarterback from getting smashed.
Right,
So when you lose someone like that who is pretty important, it is kind of difficult to overcome sometimes.
So what makes a good quarterback then? They're the ones that sort of control
Jeff
play,
can
isn't
answer
it?
that. He's had one for the last 15 years.
Brains is a lot. They have to be really good at making quick decisions. You know, the NFL play happens really fast. You have a lot of people coming at you quickly, and you have to be able to scope the whole field and know what to do. And then you need an arm, and you need some athletic ability. So.
But there's also the big key that Brady's had forever is leadership. If I've seen some great quarterbacks in my life who were talented and they possessed all of those attributes, but they were terrible leaders. And in the NFL, I mean, you're playing with the very best of the best, the greatest athletes that America can provide, and you know, they don't go with posers. They don't follow weak quarterbacks. They've got to have that leadership bone.
So you were getting your bread when I was asking you, Mike, who you thought was going to win tomorrow. Who do you think is going to win?
Well, I was telling you how much I hate Tom Brady, but
why'd you hate him? Because he does seem to divide opinion.
Because he belonged to Jeff and not me for so long. I mean, I would have loved to have seen him in a Texans uniform, but I'm a homer, so somebody that swallows up so many Super Bowls and so many playoff games and just wins time after time. When he comes back on your own home team, on your own field, it hurts. You know he's great. He is the greatest of all time, but God, he's just so good, and I hate him for it. But I think he's going to win. I really think Kansas City, I think Kansas City is going to struggle with their offensive line issues, and Mahomes is amazing. But I really think at the end of the day, it's going to be Tampa Bay's defense. They're going to bend and not break, I think. But I think Tampa Bay is going to win their second Super Bowl. It's hard to bet against Tom Brady.
Okay. And did he used to play for your team then? Did he, Jeff?
Yeah, for 20 years.
Oh, okay. Right. So what age is he now then? He must be getting on a bit in years.
43.
That's getting on in years, surely.
It's unheard of for someone his age to still be playing at, like, his numbers this year were some of the best numbers he put up in his freaking 20 some odd year career.
Because presumably he's been getting a lot of pretty heavy hits throughout his career as well. So his body must be creaking a bit.
He's kind of a freak of nature. He takes very good care of his body.
Right. And he's got good teammates who are protecting him as well, obviously, throughout his career.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah. Okay. So two of you are going for Tampa, and Hector reckons it's going to be a narrow victory for the Chiefs. Yeah. So Hector, what will you be doing tomorrow then? Is it a big family get together?
It usually is, especially with friends. But because of the corona, nothing was planned this year. Usually what we do, I invite some friends over, old college friends that I've known for years, and we all get together, our families get together. And either it's a barbecue or we order pizza, hot wings, just a bunch of food and spread and drinks. But this is going to be low key, so I'll probably be more focused on the game as long as it's entertaining, but it's going to be quite different this year, but we'll still enjoy it as much as we can. So it's just going to be my kids and my parents and my brother will come over, and that'll probably be it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Mike, you're going to be working on the house, so you're not going to see it at all then, yeah?
Well, I mean, most of the game and good commercials, halftime, that's all later in the evening, so I'm hoping I'll be done working on the house and inside at least, by halftime. But I actually 2 years ago got to go to the Super Bowl when it was here in Houston. They choose a different location every year, and cities put their bid in, but you have to have the right capacity in your stadium. You also have to have, the nightlife and the, so Houston's not a big draw when it's not like LA or New York. So when they get a Super Bowl, it's a big deal. But our company happened to have 3 tickets, and they gave them to all 3 different labor managers with the company, and I got to go, and it was a great experience. The experience outside the stadium is just like a massive fanfare, and they have a place set up where you can pass, punt, or kick a field goal. So I kicked a field goal, and it was right behind a kid. I mean, he was really young, but he tried to kick a 20-yard field goal and he missed it. And I told the guy asked me, "Do you want to kick 20, 25 yards?" I said, "No, put it on the floor. I want a 40-yard field goal." I had my work boots on, but I mean, the crowd was just like, I was building up the fervor and everything. I'm really shy. And I had everybody hollering and screaming, so I couldn't miss, and I hit my 40-yard field goal.
Excellent, brilliant.
That may have been the highlight.
Sounds like it, and rightly so as well. Yeah, absolutely. So, Jeff, what will you be doing tomorrow then? Is that a family thing, or are you just going to be there by yourself watching it?
Hey, Mike, who won that Super Bowl?
I was about to say something about that.
Yeah, Mike gave me the first time we met. Mike gave me his Super Bowl ticket.
Oh, cool.
Because my team, the Patriots, won that Super Bowl, so it's an awesome little treasure that he gave me.
That is an awesome treasure.
Beating my team.
Yeah. So, what are you going to be doing tomorrow then, Jeff?
So, sort of like Hector. A lot of times we'll have some extended family, and I'll usually make some special food. This year it's just going to be my 3-person house, and we'll be watching it, but it'll be a little bit more low key. Super Bowls that we're not vested in are usually a little bit less interesting, but I'm pretty excited about this one.
Cool. And Hector, tell me about the halftime show, because that's always a big thing, isn't it, in the Super Bowl? So do you know in advance who's going to be playing at the halftime show, or is it always a bit of a surprise for people?
No, I think that's one of the part of the extravaganza of it all, the announcement. So we do know in advance who it is. I don't even know who it is. Is it The Weeknd this year? Whoever that is?
Yeah.
I don't really know the artist, but it's usually, an artist that's pretty popular. I think the one that stands out for me, and this was after pretty close after 9/11, when U2 did their halftime show, and towards the end of one of their songs, they had a big screen behind them, and they actually scrolled all of the victims of the Twin Towers behind them. Yeah. So it was a pretty amazing moment. I think that will always. I mean, I never really pay attention to the halftime shows, to be honest with you. I usually go and check out the Puppy Bowl and stuff like that. Yeah. But that year, because I was a little bit more invested, because it was U2, I think that was a pretty special moment, and I'll always remember that one.
Uh-huh. And what about you, Mike? Any halftime memories for you over the years?
I think Prince stood out. I know as a family, we always watched it when we were kids, and I don't know, it doesn't seem like it was that big a deal when I was younger, but it grew as to be a bigger. I remember my mom was just a huge Michael Jackson fan, so when Michael Jackson did the halftime show, just all these pyrotechnics and it was just a massive display. So it seems like that's kind of the time when it started becoming a bigger deal. I mean, or when I remember it. But it's always a pop star, so it's not musically.
You're not going to get Pixies doing it, are you?
No.
No, that would be awesome. They wouldn't know what to do with that.
No. No.
But I think of the Super Bowl I went to, I think it was Lady Gaga.
Okay.
And,
You
know,
think?
you got to see. Huh? Yeah,
You
I think
it was? What were you doing?
I was pretty
in the beer line.
I was pretty lit by that time. I was sitting right next to a lady who was inviting me and the other guys that were with me. They were inviting us to the after party because I was cracking them up. And I said, "Who are you?" And she said, "Oh, I've said too much already." Well, I looked her up later on, and she was Shanahan's wife, who was an assistant coach for Atlanta at the time.
Oh, wow.
And so at the end of the game, of course, the Patriots came back, beat the Atlanta Falcons. And I turned to her and I said, "Are we still invited to the after party?" And she said, "No, there's not going to be an after." She wasn't amused anymore. But she was a nice lady. We were basically sitting beside a lot of the coaches' wives, and we didn't realize it.
And Jeff, what about you? Any memories of halftime shows?
Yeah, a few. I usually do other things at halftime, so I haven't been a big halftime watcher. I won't go into the one Hector brought up is definitely a big memory. Besides the 9/11 moment, which was just amazingly emotional, it was our first Super Bowl win, so that was cool. But the one that stands out recently was just because it was a weird thing was Katy Perry and Left Shark was I guess if you Google Katy Perry Left Shark and watch that video, it was just it was almost like a cartoon moment at the Super Bowl, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah. And none of you've mentioned Janet Jackson. Can't believe it.
Well, two of us missed it, and one of us evidently was a very big fan.
One of them's got it on his phone. Yeah.
Recorded.
I did. I rewound it.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay, so like I said, I've got a bit of a quiz for you, and as I said to you, I did this quiz and I got 7 out of 13. So I'm going to go around and I'll start with Hector. Since 2000, there have been 13 different winners of the Super Bowl. So I want you to name them all, but you don't each of you have to name all 13. So I'll start with Hector and we'll carry on until we've run out. So Hector, give me one of the 13.
2000?
Since 2000.
Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Well, you've got a good memory.
Right.
Okay, Mike, you're next.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Absolutely, yeah. And how many times have they won it in that time?
6.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. That's 2. Okay, Jeff, your turn.
I'll go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
That is correct. Yep. Excellent.
JR?
Well done. Yeah. Okay, back to you, Hector.
Steelers, Pittsburgh.
Yep. They have won it as well. 4. Your turn again, Mike.
Seahawks, Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. Seahawks are another one. They've won it. 5. We've got 5 now at 13. Jeff, you're next.
The Giants beat us twice.
The New York Giants, that is, isn't it? Let me see. Are they on my list? Yes, they are. Yep. Okay. So how many is that? That's 6 now. So Hector?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
I could take us home if you want, Hector.
I bet you can. Yeah, I'll take one guess and then I'll leave it to Jeff. But 49ers, San Francisco?
No.
They win one? No. They were there, but they lost. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just crossing these off my phone on my list.
There's 13 different teams.
13,
even though,
yeah.
Jesus. I didn't know that much because the Patriots pretty much took most of them. But.
Come on, one of them's a very obvious one.
Well, the 2 teams that Manning won with. You got Indianapolis Colts
Broncos.
And
Yeah,
Broncos,
the
yeah.
other one.
Yeah.
What about Tampa? What about Tampa? Did theirs fall in the 2000s?
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure. I was going to pick them, but
Hey, sorry, who did you say?
Yes.
Tampa Bay.
Buccaneers.
Yeah, they won in 2003.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that. All right.
And then did the Rams win after 2000?
They won in 2000.
Okay, that's
Come
another
on,
one I wasn't
Hector.
sure.
Come on, Hector.
I wasn't sure it was 99 or 2000.
You're letting down your home city.
You know what? That's one Super Bowl I do have a good memory about because they had already left LA, so I wasn't really a fan. I was actually a Seahawk fan. But I actually ended up winning money in that Super Bowl.
You said Colts, didn't you, Jeff?
Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
You said
Packers.
Colts. Someone said Colts, didn't they?
Yeah, I said the Colts.
Yeah.
Packers, damn
Green
it.
Bay, yeah, that's another one. 2011, they won.
There's still one more?
Baltimore Ravens. Ravens.
Hang
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Hang on. You said Giants as well, didn't you, Jeff? Did you say?
Yeah.
Someone said
Yeah.
Giants. So,
You have Denver there too, right, Andrew?
I think Mike said Broncos, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll cross them off my list. Nearly there. I think.
You got them all.
No, not yet. You said Giants as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Giants definitely been said. And you got Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens. I think there are still two that I might have missed one of these, saying one of them, but I think there are still two that hasn't been said.
Oh, New Orleans.
Saints.
Oh,
2010.
that's right.
And I may not have heard you, but the other one I've got is the Steelers. Did anyone say the Steelers?
Mike or Hector.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got there in the end. Well done.
The one I got right.
You got them all there eventually. Took you a little while. It's expecting your knowledge to be better than that, chaps. So what about the new president? Is the new president into American football? Do we know?
He kind of has to be.
Do they all go? Do they tend to go?
The last president didn't, or at least not to the Super Bowl, right?
Too busy playing golf, probably.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember seeing one at a Super Bowl before. Come to think of it,
I think Gerald Ford played football, college football, didn't he?
Yeah.
Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
Michigan, yeah.
So well, none of you are working in offices and that at the moment, but I guess on a Monday morning when you go into the office and your team is lost and that, do you take a lot of ribbing over the years?
Yeah. A lot of bets have been made. You're wearing a jersey of the team that you don't like that won. So that usually sometimes happens.
Yeah, we also do, Andrew, we have something called a football pot, which is just office gambling. But, yeah, you create this. I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but you buy squares depending on the end score or halftime score, and it pays out sometimes by quarter, sometimes by half, sometimes by just final. And it always makes the game more interesting because most of them are $5, $10 a square. Sometimes it's a little bit higher than that, but they're usually pretty good payouts. Small pots.
Yeah, we do things like that on do things like that on the Grand National, which is a big horse race over here. And we do things for like football tournaments and that. So like the World Cup or the European Championships or whatever, you'll get a team like a country, and you sort of hope that your team ends up winning that tournament. So we do stuff similar to that. Yeah. So cool, excellent. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. I still don't think that I don't know very much about the game. I know you have the offense and the defense, and you have your quarterbacks, which is a sexy position to play. And I'm going to go just simply to even up the numbers. Two of you are going for Tampa Bay. Hector and we're both going to go for Chiefs. But,
all right.
And I might even stay up and watch it, because the trouble is with being over here is that it doesn't start till about midnight our time. So,
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it's always late, especially if you've got to work the following day, which unfortunately I do. But guys, I hope you have a great time and enjoy the game. Good to catch up with you as well. And send my love to all your friends and family, won't you, from the UK?
Cool.
Thanks,
All right.
Andrew.
Good to see you all.
Thanks, Andrew. Good to
Cheers,
see you
guys.
guys.
See you soon. Bye.
Take
See
care.
you guys.
Bye. Same
Bye.
here, guys. Take care. Be safe.
And you. Bye.
Bye.